Cheers to episode 26. Cheers.
Cheers.
Corona premiere.
Kugel Summer Shanty.
Ooh. Back-to-back weeks for the Cougs. Tonight, Tuesday, June 22nd, time of recording, 7:40 p.m. And you guys already know where this one's going. Tonight is the night that we land the rights to draft Cade Cunningham. So, a life-changing night for Detroit sports.
Potentially.
And that's the power of positive thinking, as we learned from Dan Campbell on last week's show, how you will things into existence. Before the draft, let me lay out the show real quick. Tonight's going to be a little different, which you're listening to tomorrow. So let's go in a little time machine real quick. So we are going to start with our weekly check-ins, our national news quick topics, and we'll dive into the college football playoff expanding to potentially 12 teams. Seems like almost a done deal. And then we will talk about the MLB has a problem with sticky stuff in the league right now, enforced yesterday officially. We'll get to that. And then Alex's Rumor Mill segment of the week, as always. And then on the back half of the show, I thought about doing the order where we put the draft stuff first, but I kind of wanted to entice people to listen to the whole thing. And we know they're coming to this episode to listen to the draft lottery talk and our live reactions. So that's going to be at the end of this. So the shortcut, I guess, if you want to take shortcuts, you could just skip to the timestamp of when the draft lottery stuff starts. We're going to talk about a lot of Detroit Pistons, a little Ben Simmons teaser there, too, during the draft lottery. And like I said, at the end of the show, you will get our live reactions to what happens tonight to the draft lottery, which starts at 8:30. So we've got about 45 minutes until that time to kind of get through whatever we want to talk about. And I'd love to start with how is everyone's personal lives? How was your week? We'll throw this one to I was about to say Evan, but he's looking at something. So now I don't know. I mean, he's really looking at something here.
He's having some issues.
He's really looking up and down,
difficulties.
Left and right.
I think he unplugged his headphones.
He looks like he just saw a ghost. I just saw his mic moving. You know what?
I'll talk about mine.
No, let's just let Evan get back.
Let's just have
this is the power.
This
is the power of editing. So this will be like it didn't even happen.
No, you should just leave a long, awkward pause. Don't talk.
Right here, I'll put.
You should have stayed long.
I'll cut in like the SpongeBob 2 hours later, and then it'll be Evan. How was your week? But I think he can hear us. I think he can.
No, I don't think he can.
All right, I'm back. I think I'm back. I think I am back.
I hear you. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I can hear you guys.
Okay. This is like that Nextel commercial. Like, can you hear me now?
I heard you guys the entire time. It was just a matter of if I heard you through my computer or my microphone.
Did you just get a new mic? Because it just blasted through my ears.
No,
You're good now.
Grazed the cord that plugs it in from the computer to my microphone. Grazed it. I was setting my beer down, barely even touched it, and the thing was yeah, I'm not going to work anymore.
So it's sensitive. All right. Oh, you seem back. You seem fully back. So, Evan, how, personally for you, how was your week? Anything new? What happened in the life of Evan?
My week, let's see, going back all the way from last Wednesday, since the last time we saw each other, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing really special, I don't think, happening.
Got turned.
Oh, Friday night, boys went down to our local watering hole. Shout out Mucks, thanks for the sponsor.
Yes.
Had a good time there. Had practice, missed out on the fun round at the country club, unfortunate. But got a few
golf
drinks. Club. Stayed up way too late to get up early Saturday. Was you know what? I got a baseball tournament to win. I'll take the 6 hours of sleep. You know what? Hung out with friends.
Because Evan's
drove
bad
all the way to Concord, Michigan. If you don't know what Concord, Michigan is, just southwest of Jackson. Absolutely downpoured. And I mean coming down in buckets. The sky opened up and came down.
When on Saturday?
Canceled. Tournament was canceled that day on Saturday morning.
Oh.
It barely rained.
That's your last tournament of the year, too. Right?
This was my last tournament canceled. Well, I'll get to it. Hold on. Saturday canceled. Boom. No idea if we're going to play on Sunday. Father's Day. You know what? It was only supposed to be a one-day tournament. Show goes on. We're playing Saturday.
Sunday.
We're playing Sunday now.
Yes.
Yep. Saturday night. Went back to Mucks for part 2. Stayed there way too late again. Woke up, had to go to work. Then right after work, left for a baseball tournament. Won our first game easily.
Not a big deal.
Well, let me fast forward to this because there is a big, major problem with umpires.
A pandemic.
We finished third. Yes, it is. We finished third.
Disappointing.
However, we never
Podium.
lost a game in this tournament.
What?
Yep.
I'm not sure that's accurate.
Is
Never
that
lost.
an umpire
We were
problem,
2-0
or is that?
Finished third. Okay, so our second game, this team was probably comparable to us talent-wise, skill-wise.
Just scouting the
Get down
11-year-olds?
4-0. Get down 4-0 first inning. We're like, oh crap.
Yank the pitcher.
Score 3 runs, so we battle back. 4-3. We're down, I think, 3 runs going into the bottom of the 5th. Yes, 3 runs going to the bottom of the 5th.
7-inning game,
Yeah,
right?
7 innings.
7-inning game.
Yeah, 6 inning games.
Oh, so that's like the 8th. Okay.
So we have a runner on first and second. I think like 1 out.
Great spot.
Runs don't really matter. Get a base hit to right field.
Huge.
I am sending the kid on second base. I'm
Oh,
sending
no.
him. He's scoring.
He's getting
Let's go.
thrown out at the plate.
I'm so
scoring
nervous.
these.
I'm gonna
Hey,
puke.
it's gonna be a close play at the plate.
Oh no.
11 new baseball kids that have played the outfield think they have the strongest arm. Like they can throw just as good as Major League Baseball players. So they just say, cut off, don't see him. I'm throwing it all the way home, buddy. And they just chuck it all the way to the plate. Goes over the catcher's head, gets loose away from the catcher.
Okay.
My kid slides in because I'm screaming at him, you better slide.
Okay.
He slides in. Safe. Okay. Now there's a loose ball. My
Yep.
kid that was on first is now on third. They throw it down to 3. Gets into left field. My kid scores. Kid that got a base hit is standing on second base right now, potentially coming to third.
Okay.
Okay. I turn and look at home plate to watch my kid score. The umpire is standing in the middle, like in front of the plate, saying he called time.
In the middle of a
Umpire
play.
blew the plate dead after our first run scored so he could clean off the plate, but didn't realize there was people on base.
Come on. You're joking.
It has to
No,
be a
that's serious.
terrible joke.
This happened. And for it being Father's Day, shout out Greg. He was the first base coach, and I really thought he was going to get thrown out of the game at this
Did he
point.
chew into him?
He has his hands up, screaming at the umpire, walking towards him from the first base coaching box, just walking towards him. Like, what are you doing? You cannot call that. And the umpire literally said, I called time so I can clear off the plate.
Oh my god.
In the middle of a play.
In the middle of a play. The play was still going on. Both teams realize the play is still going on and still playing it out, but the ump is just standing there. Time.
So did your
Double
kid
time.
take him out at home plate while he was dusting it off?
And so now all the runners had to go back. So now the kid that got a base hit has to go back to first.
But the first-
and then the kid was
the first run scored.
first run scored. After that,
What
basically
a
he called
joke
it dead.
this is.
So now it's first and third.
Okay.
Kid that got base hit is on first base. Kid that started on first is now on third. So we score now a run. Okay, and I believe I probably misspoke earlier. So now I believe it's tied 8-8. We scored a run previous to that other run. So now it's 8-8. And the kid should have been on second base off the base hit with the umpire's error. He gets stranded on third base. So if he was one base farther, he would have scored and we would have won in the top of the 6, 9-8.
Okay. So
So you ended in a tie?
Go to extra innings. California rule. Usually California rule is just like you start a guy on second base, but they did start a guy on second base and you get and 1 out.
it seems like
So the other team got a base hit. They actually had a nice base hit with 2 outs. They got a base hit to right field with a runner on third base.
game, respect game, nice base hit.
And you
Yes.
lost.
But
Shout out Jake,
out
Greg's
Jake.
son. He was the first one up, and and Greg and I forgot there was like one. They start with 1 out, and we were going to bunt Jake, but if we bunted him, then there'd be 2 outs with a runner third. We said, all right. After 1 pitch, I realized he can't bunt. There's 1 out. We told him to swing away. He absolutely rips a missile to the right center gap, like a 1 bounce to the fence. We score, we tie it up, and then time limit. They call game. We tied, and then they got to go to the championship because they gave up less runs in their first game.
Did that team
And
win
we-
at all?
jeez.
I did not stick around because it was Father's Day. No idea. Don't know.
And it was a devastating
really
loss,
care.
so you didn't really want to
It
know.
was a devastating loss. My team was heartbroken. They were a little upset. Let's say that third game, the third place game, Nobody wanted to be there. Like,
Mailed
my
it
team
in.
was just like walking through the motions. I mean, we mercied them 17-0.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Not even
Sick
trying.
flag. Yeah.
Wow. That actually is like the
Tough way to end the season, but you learn from it.
that's like the most 11-year-old baseball way that this like saga of Evan's travel season could have ended. Like when you were saying the play as it was happening with all the errors, I was just instantly vaulted back to like playing youth baseball, and no one knew how to like be calm in a situation with more than 2 base runners, and then adding in the ump fiasco and a good old like chewing out of the ump, like that is just the
I
most.
can't
11.
believe the ump did that.
I've never heard of that happening. So that is like that's when they say baseball.
I thought you were lying.
You see something new every day. That is an actual. You see something new every day.
Evan,
Wish.
this is completely irrelevant, but I just saw this on TV. Last week you picked Morikawa and Xander Schauffele, correct?
Yep.
They are ranked number 4 and number 5 in the world in the golf rankings.
Hey, that's golf rankings. That isn't the
No longer are those
that's when we're
sleepers.
going to U.S. Open. Okay. Fast forward. Okay, travel Sunday. It was tough. Good way to end the baseball season. Kids still have Little League to go on, but travel season's over for 11U. And then golf league last night. Big matchup. 3 versus 4. We come out, and my team, we lay an egg. We get smoked by my brother's team. Didn't take that many points. It was a tough battle. A little cold.
How many
the
did you
second
take?
day of summer. There, I said it. It was a little cold. It was a little chilly. How many points did I take, Alex? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
We took 9.5 out of 30.
Ooh.
It's tough.
Yeah, I think like the first 4 holes, it went 2.5 to a half, 2.5 to a half, 2.5 to a half, 2.5 to a half.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
So
You really do.
I guess where do you guys stand after that?
Standings haven't came out yet, but I'm guessing.
With us.
So I'm probably 5th or 6th.
And I'm
I would
probably
assume.
5th or 6th.
So
It
that
happens, it's a tough week, and
Tough
you
breaks.
just move on because we have a bigger weekend coming up. Means more. Some are saying
all right.
golf trip planned for this weekend. Can't
Yes.
wait to talk about it next podcast.
Love that. What a tease for next week's roundup. Like I did last week with the wedding. So I will fulfill that teaser. From the wedding, takeaways. It was on a lake. I should back that up. I didn't go to the ceremony. It wasn't it was a small ceremony. Everyone come for the reception, which I kind of loved. Like I really respected that. Enjoyed that. Kind of funny. They ordered a shuttle party bus kind of thing from the hotel for people, mainly our family, and there was only like 6 of us on it. So it was kind of hilarious, like 6 people on like a 20-person party bus and going down this tight little road down a lake house. Barely made it over this little bridge. I thought the driver was going to freak out, but made it fine. On the lake is a cool experience for that situation. I just loved it. And they also shot off fireworks late in the night, which is something you don't get at weddings just because a lot of them aren't outside really, but it was a great touch. Super American. They were playing Proud to Be an American while there's blasting massive fireworks in the sky. Nothing screams love like that combination. And then what else happened? Locked in Faster Horses campsite. You guys know that this week. That's huge. So party of the summer coming up. That is going to be an all-time weekly recap after that experience. So if you're at Faster Horses and recognize it, say something.
I want to get a GoPro for the weekend.
Ooh, I love that.
Recap the whole
down thing that happened to me. I accidentally sat on a pair of blue light glasses I had on like Sunday, and I broke them. And like blue light quickly just like kind of helps your eyes not feel crappy after a long day of staring at a screen. And you would think it's kind of like woo-woo, but it actually works because the last like 2 days I haven't been able to wear them, and my eyes feel so shot and like dizzy by the end of the day. So I'm banking on those coming in like midweek this week so I can get back in the game. It just stinks to break those. And then I have 2 great, one's great, one's interesting stories today involving elderly statesmen in our society. 2 older men. So today, off day for work for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm around 2 guys on this podcast that love golf, and I'm trying to get better at it. I'm going to go golfing today. So I booked 18 by myself, and I knew I was probably going to get paired up just knowing how this course operates. So I was supposed to be paired up with a guy that was almost similar to my age, and I saw him ahead of me on the course. Spoiler alert, this kid did not know like anything about golf. And I think tee time at 12:15 p.m. I'm like putting at 12:05 on the putting green, and I see him go to the first tee, and we hadn't like spoken like, hey, we're playing together because he already left. And I was like, all right, he'll just wait till 12:15 for me. I'm guessing he had already teed off. I get there, he's already like off. He's off and about, and then somehow there's 3 people, older guys in front of me, which is like that wasn't supposed to happen. Like I checked the tee times, there was no one like directly in front of me. So, and I kid you not, and like it just stinks. Like I want everyone to have a great time golfing, but these guys are like the slowest 3 guys of all time, and one guy legitimately like was like struggling to walk, and it was like just sad and slow, and then you're like, dang, like you can't even be mad because it's like, oh, I just love that like he's getting out there active, but like I was like, all right, these people are gonna let me play through. Never let me play through. Like actually like talk to me and said we would, but there's 4 women in front of us who we think it's their first time golfing, so there's nowhere for you to go. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, just let me go and then I'll pass them as well. But they like actively said, hey, like I would, but we're not. I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to sit here. So that front 9 was like 2.5 hours. It was miserable as a solo person just standing there. And there was like 2 guys behind me. We kept making jokes every tee box. So we make the turn on the back. The women are gone. I'm like, hey, can you guys let me like play through now? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Like, go for it. So I go, and then there's a guy doing a pre-round, warm-up round for his league night that night. Just a classic old golf guy thing. Shout out this guy. He said he played.
That too.
He said he played in the Minnesota Twins farm system in AAA and almost made it, but hurt his shoulder. Feels like a classic story.
Me too.
People tell. So we played. He's like, hey, can I hop in with you on 9? I'm like, yeah, like no problem. So we play. It's pretty chill. And then like hole 2, he like talking to me about my work. He's like, did they make you get vaccinated? I'm like, no, they didn't. He goes, well, like, are you? And I was like, yeah, I did get the vaccine. Like my uncle's work kind of like helped me get it. And I went in. He's like, he didn't say anything after that. I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then as the round progresses, he like just kind of pokes at it. He's like, oh yeah, I decided a while ago I'm not going to. And then I was like, okay, like that's fine. Like, I don't really care at all. And I don't want to talk about this at the golf course, really. COVID's dead. We've talked about that on this podcast. It's over. So we get to 18 finally, and he's like telling me all these like crazy horror stories, like unverified facts about how many people have died from the vaccine and how many people have been hospitalized. Which, I mean, if he has a personal story that happened, like that's really tragic and could have happened. It's like really sad, but it doesn't change anything for me. Like I'm not going to be nervous that I got it like a month or so ago. Like I'm fine now. And it evolves into he goes, are you a Christian? And I go, my family like grew up Catholic. I've like gone to church in the past. And he's like, okay, because like I read the Bible. I've like read the Bible pretty in depth, and the world's going to end in 2029. I kid you not. He goes, an asteroid is coming down, and I wasn't convinced that it was like actually going to hit Earth, but my buddy said he had a vision the other day that like it actually hits the Earth. So he goes, just hold. I was like, I was like, this is so weird. I go, well, sounds like I better get all my bucket list stuff out of the way by 2029. He goes, yeah, just make sure you're in good standing with Jesus by that time. I go, okay, whatever. But so that was crazy memorable. I'll never forget that guy just telling me the world's going to end in 2029. And then even better than that story, which is kind of hard to beat a little bit, Planet Fitness today, probably like 3 hours ago, at the gym on like a chest machine, sitting there. I mean, I was taking my time. In today's society, like you do a set, you like do your rest time, and while you do your rest time, most people look at their phone, browse Twitter, browse Instagram, text, shoot off some texts. I'm doing that. Nothing out of the ordinary. And mind you, Alex and I have gone to this gym. Let's keep in mind it's a Planet Fitness. You're paying $10 a month to be here. You're not expecting.
Hey, some people are paying that premium dollar
for that black card to tan, sure. But like we all know here, you're not. If you go to Planet Fitness, like you're not expecting. Like you're expecting to be jam packed. People not knowing how to lift. It's just that's the experience. If you want instant access to everything, spend like $50 and go to like a powerhouse gym or even an LA Fitness.
And those are still busy. So.
And we've gone to this gym for 8 months now, probably. Never have had a problem with anyone ever there, ever. Like me personally, like, oh, that person like kind of stinks. I don't know what they're doing. Or they actually have BO. But like nothing ever confrontational. A guy comes up to me. He's like, I don't know, 50s, 60s, slicked back gray hair. Evan, I told Al, he's an Al Romano type vibe. Well, this guy's like way
younger though.
Maybe a little bit younger looking. And shout out Al Romano, he's awesome. He would never do this. This guy walks up to me, and I'm sitting like on this push chest machine. He's like toe to toe with me, standing, and I'm sitting. He goes, "Hey, are you like how many more sets do you have? Are you almost done with this machine?" I go, yeah, I got like 2 to 3 more sets, just super nonchalant. And I thought he'd be like, all right, like, that's cool. Let me know when you're done. The normal thing to do. And personally, I don't even go up to people on machines. First of all, I don't ask. I just wait, or I go do something else. You're in a Planet Fitness. It's going to be busy. He goes, all right. And then he goes, all right, well, I've done 4 exercises on 5 different machines, like, while you've been on this. And he was like, I don't know, like, okay. And I still didn't say anything back. And I'm like, have my phone in my hand like this. And he's like, he just looks down my eyes and goes, stop texting. And he starts to walk away. So I can't even, and like my mind's like, whoa. All I said was gotcha. Like I just said gotcha. And so from then, I'll be honest, I didn't really look at my phone that much more. I did once just to see, like, I was like, all right, let's just see what happens here. And I was like, you know what? I'm really going to take my time now. Like that annoyed me enough where like, I'm not going to rush off of this machine. And I still had 2 to 3 more sets. So I do them and he comes back. I could see kind of like he was on a rowing machine. He was just knocking out some rowing while he's waiting. Like this guy's a freak. He walks back up to me. And he goes to the machine right next to me and just stands hand on his hip, hand on the machine, staring at me. So like right to my right or right to my left, he's just looking at me like this as I'm like finishing my lap. The bad time was I wanted to be stubborn and just keep sitting there, but it was such an awkward feeling and I was actually done. Like I was actually done. So he's standing there and I look at him and I'm at this point, I'm like, Alex would say I'm being passive, not standing up for myself, which could be true, but I don't like confrontation. I don't want to do anything. So I was like, you still want it? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I'll go wipe it down because you're supposed to wipe down the machine at Planet Fitness. They're very strict about it.
Everywhere.
He goes, you know, I'll take care of it. No problem. And in retrospect, I could have just been done there. But this guy had the nerve as I stood up and he was going to sit down. He like looks at his phone and I go, hey, maybe you should get off your phone too. I just had, he laid it on a tee for me. I had to say something. And this guy raises his tone like 10 notches and goes, I'll quote him, cover your ears, kids. He goes, don't fucking tell me what to do, asshole. Loud. As I'm walking away. And like 5 people around us that don't have headphones on are looking at us. And he puts his phone on top of the machine. And I think I thought he was going to come like chest to chest with me. But no, he was just turning to sit down. And then after he said that, I just stopped and looked at him and I go, what happened to you today, man? Like, I just said that, and then just like, he was done, and I was done, and I just walked away. And I think he muttered under his breath a little bit. And then I told Alex about him. He was all, like, Alex went to go, like, scope him out. He's like, what guy? What guy? I'm like, Alex is probably a little more aggressive. I would have loved to see what he would have done. But safe to say, if I see this guy, I've never seen him before. I hope I don't see him again. But if I do, it might be a little weird. Like, he probably won't remember me. Maybe not. That's probably a shtick where he loves telling the younger generation not to be on their phone at the gym, which newsflash, buddy, everyone does. And it's also, you're allowed to wait in between sets. It's actually healthy for you. Evan can attest to. He knows a lot about lifting, you know, a good like 1 minute rest period, 2 minute rest period. It's good for you. So I don't know. He also dropped some of us are on a schedule the first time he came up to me. Like, okay, it's 5:30 after work. What are you in a rush for? So if you guys have any thoughts about that, I just had to get it out there for the podcast. I was like, oh, this is great podcast material. And I was pretty worked up. I hadn't felt that feeling of just pure rage in my body. Like my hands were trembling. Like I really do not like this guy and it's making me super mad, which I don't usually feel. So it kind of felt good to feel that. But
Grant was riled up in this Planet Fitness.
So sped up. I was like,
when I saw him, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes after it happened, he was just bright red. He was just talking a mile a minute. He's ready to go. But yeah, that guy needs to get off his high horse. If he ever listens to this, I hope he hears this specific moment. Dude, chill out. It's a Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
I have much worse words, but I'm not going to be that mean.
Well, let's just hope for the podcast that we don't see this guy again, especially for
Alex. I hope we do. I hope he talks to me next time.
I won't be definitely trying to alpha you out of that, just coming up to you straight up and was like, yo, hurry up, basically.
Yeah.
So he tried to be an alpha, way to not be a beta. You stood your ground. And then after being so worked up, you should either like try to run like your PR'd your mile or PR'd your like your bench press because you were just full of
you had a lot of juice.
Dude, I was. It was my cheeks were all red. I was like, because it was a mix of like embarrassing because it made a scene because he screamed and swore, and it was awkward because that feeling of him just standing next to me, not saying the word, staring at me is just such an awkward feeling, and just rage for like the way he was like talking to me. Like, it was a classic, like, I'm older than you, I'm a different generation, like, you should respect me no matter what. It's like, that's just not how this works. We're equals in this gym. And I'm allowed, like Alex said, it's my equipment right now. It's my set. I'm allowed to stay here for as long as I want. There's no rules. It's just etiquette, but, like, I wasn't even taking that long.
What a loser. Anything else happened with your week?
No, that was it.
Weekend?
No, it made me miss the golf guy more. Give me that guy any day of the week. I would love to just tell me your conspiracy theories instead of getting like yelled at.
So my week.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting all hot and bothered again just thinking about it.
I did not have anything nearly as eventful happen as you guys, I guess. I did nothing during the week except work.
Nice.
And then this weekend I played some golf, as Evan mentioned, the country club round. Not a member, but I played with some members. That was fun. Then we hit the local watering hole, as Evan already said. Evan's bad at leaving, so that's why he stayed so late, because he doesn't know how to exit. I told him to Irish exit, and he said he didn't want to be that guy. But I think he really should have. It would have been cool.
So you wanted him to do your thing.
I did. I wanted him to experience it, but he didn't do it. And then Saturday, so Friday was my sister's birthday. Saturday, we had a pool party for her. So did that. It's all right. Just family, nothing crazy, not some giant pool.
That explains the no invite.
Yeah. And then Sunday, Father's Day, I played golf with my dad and sister, and then my dad's friend and his son. And I was expecting to play pretty bad because my sister's pretty, I'll just say how it is. She's pretty bad. She doesn't golf maybe once a year. So I was expecting to be really slow, be hard to focus, not really try very hard. And then all of a sudden, I just went birdie, 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 eagle. And I was like, wow, I'm having a round.
Don't worry me.
So right after that, I go double bogey, bogey finish. And I only shoot 1 under with all those birdies and eagles. 1 eagle, 3 birdies. So a little disappointing, but fun.
And
so
then briefly, did it translate to Monday Night Golf League?
Then I go to Monday. I'm like, oh my God, I just played great. How could I possibly not play this good again?
Right.
So I go to hole number 1. Like Evan said, a little chilly. Not that matters. Duffed my tee shot. Made a bogey on 1. Headed 2, 3-putt bogey. Headed 3, 3-putt bogey. 4, 3-putt bogey. And then 7, 3-putt double bogey.
Ooh.
And 6, 3-putt bogey. So if there's any indication that I need to work on something, it's putting. A lot of 3-putts. And I can blame it fully on going from the country club to this golf course because those greens are really fast. These ones are not nearly even close.
Right.
So I'm just going to blame it all on that.
Those that know.
We were in the 5-6 matchup. We got killed. We took 10.5, so more than Evan.
Barely.
So that feels good at least.
Splitting hairs here.
My partner had a little bit of a blow up. He was 1 over through 5. My dad.
He's riding that Father's Day high. He just wasn't dialed in.
And then he went triple-double to finish.
That Devin Booker triple-double.
Pretty bad. So our hopes of winning the league seem to be dashed at this point.
Oof.
But then after golf was super fun. Evan wasn't there. I don't know why. But
You get the invite.
it's like 14 guys played extra holes. So everyone's, crowding up on the tee box. It was just the lowest score would win the money. I had 2 birdie putts on the first 2 holes, closest out of everyone. Missed both times with everyone chirping me while I'm putting, so that was pretty tough. And then on the final hole, in the dark, a guy made birdie, so I had to make birdie to cancel, and I made a heroic up and down, walked in my putt, everyone cheering for me. It was a great moment. So despite losing on the league, after the league was more fun.
Like John Rahm.
Next weekend's golf, or this upcoming weekend golf.
Yeah.
That's the real stuff, as Evan mentioned.
That's the college football playoff.
Oh, it's going to be great. With some tough conditions.
Excited, but FOMO at the same time.
Grant can't go. He's supposed to go.
So, now, we need a workshop. This is our homework assignment for you guys. Our workshop, this part of the show, it's like quick hitting news that's like not main topics, but just like hop around.
In 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less type deal. So I'll say whatever, and then I'll be quiet, and then let you guys say like your 1 or 2 things. If you have anything, you'd be like, oh, pass, don't really care. Which there might be at least one topic I'm looking at that you guys be like, I don't really care. Can anyone guess what that is?
All of them.
Oh, I was going to say Michigan getting their new point guard. Anyways, so NBA, NHL playoffs. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to pass on the NHL playoffs. I have lost interest in those. I don't know if that's on me or the playoffs, but they've been good games. Evan hates that.
8-0 game yesterday.
Exactly why I don't want to watch it. NBA, been really locked into. I have to give credit to Evan's star boy, Giannis. I still think he kind of got lucky in a sense in that series. The whole Bucks did, but that's just how the NBA playoffs goes. Massive. Can I get a chop on 3 for the Philadelphia 76ers? 1, 2, 3, chop. They choked, and I felt it coming, so it felt good to be right on the Hawks there. Oh, lost in the shuffle. The Jazz just choked away the series after Kawhi went down. That's crazy. Shout out Terrence Mann for dropping 39 in a game. And then now, as they play tonight, game 2 in that series, we'll see how it goes with CP out. So that series is interesting. I'm eating up the NBA playoffs. I'm a little bit more bored that it's Hawks-Bucks now. But I can get behind. I don't think the Hawks have much of a chance, but I can get behind the Hawks a little bit.
Michigan got their point guard of the future.
Whoa, that was your chance for you guys if you have any NBA that wasn't covered.
You covered a lot of it. I'm fully riding the Suns bandwagon, and I'm fully riding the Hawks bandwagon.
There you go.
Although I will say the best player on the Bucks is not Giannis, it's Chris Middleton, obviously. So anyone who thinks otherwise, Giannis did one of the most not clutch things I've ever seen when they lost in game 5 or 6. He was just horrendous down the stretch. Got fully lucky. Lucky that Kyrie's out. Kevin Durant almost did it by himself, and I don't even like Kevin Durant, but he was going bananas.
Giannis's free throw length it takes him to shoot is unbelievable. It's so long and so awkward.
Yeah. No.
Worth watching.
But Giannis did play better in Game 7, so I'll give him that. But he's not – this is a different discussion for a different time. So I won't even go
Go Bucks, go Giannis, my pick, and Golden Knights still in it. Won a good overtime
That's your team.
game.
That's your team.
Play tonight at 9 as well. My team for NHL, so they're still in it.
Nice.
Go playoffs.
U.S. Open picks, like we talked about a little bit. None of our picks ended up winning. We had 4 people in contention, I would say, on Sunday, so shout out us. Kokrak, what a miss by me. He was like +7. Zallyman missed the cut as well. So there were some duds in there. I just like my guys that I picked to make the cut. But great U.S. Open. That leaderboard on Sunday was awesome.
Yeah. Shout out John Rahm for 2 birdies down the stretch. I'm not really a John Rahm guy, but
and it also
pretty awesome way to win.
Made me think how many balls of mine have potentially gotten stuck in a tree, and I never knew. Because I did not think that could happen.
That sucked.
Did not think that could happen.
And it hit the cart path, went back up into the tree, and got stuck. That's just a terrible way to lose a ball.
Michigan got a huge recruit in 2022 class. This will probably just be me talking about this quickly. I don't even have a lot to say. Doug McDaniel, other than he was my guy. I told Alex about this kid like a month ago. I was like, saw he was projected for Michigan. There was some Seth Trimble hype for those that are in the weeds in recruiting, but I like Doug McDaniel. Everyone will be like, oh, he's small, he's this, he's that. Yeah, he's a little short. He's like 5'9", but Mike Smith was a baller, and he wasn't. And Doug McDaniel was taller than that. So classic pass first point guard. Very excited that he is going to be coming to Michigan. And then this one, I think Evan will have some thoughts on after he plugged that. There's 2 Detroit Tigers like player development accounts. One's like minor league tracker. One's like player development. They both put out highlights, and I am absolutely addicted to watching them. This past week, Riley Green almost hit for the cycle. Dylan Dingler doing Dylan Dingler things. Ding balls. Shout out. And Torkelson just hitting Oppo bombs. So, Evan, did you catch any of these videos over the weekend?
Yeah, Torkelson had 2 home runs in the first 6 games in Double-A. Riley Green has been named Team Player of the Week by, I think, some sponsor for that team. And I just love Torkelson's swing. Again, I'm going to say it for the probably 3rd week in a row. I'm going to say it next week. And he's just raking down there. Raking.
But we'll see if they get the AAA call based on all those rules that Alex and I have yet to figure out.
He can't go to AAA.
He's not allowed.
He's not allowed.
Downside of being a Tigers fan, Shohei Ohtani is our dad. Fitting that it was Father's Day weekend. I just put down his stat line here. 4 games, 4 ding-dongs. I think he leads the MLB now potentially after playing us. 7 RBIs in that stretch. And you're saying no, he doesn't?
No.
Who does? Is it still Tatis? No,
Guerrero.
Ohtani has like 23.
Guerrero. Junior.
Well, Ohtani's right there. He's 20 plus. 22. And 1 earned run pitching. So he does it all. I mean, he just absolutely owned us. So I didn't actually catch any of the full games, but watched one of the highlights. And there was a ball he hit that had no business leaving the park. And he just flicks his wrist and has that much power to hit it dead center. So he's a freak.
He's good at baseball for sure.
Really good. And then last thing, I mean, this was just like funny and it relates to the Pistons. Our former player, Josh Smith, went off on a rant after their loss that we mentioned. My favorite moment from from it was just him saying, ESPN, go get his ass. I'm getting his ass tonight. But first thing tomorrow morning, get back on his ass. Like, it was just, it's pretty not safe for work rant, as Evan pointed out. So be careful where you listen to it. But it's just
not at work.
The only thing I remember from Josh Smith is he hit a buzzer beater in a game I was at against the Phoenix Suns. So he's a legend for that. But
worst signing.
I don't know if
Pistons
fans don't really claim him. I think he's been on 1,000 teams. But just weird to drag Doc Rivers through the mud like that. But he did make some points. He made some points.
It was quite the video. Looked like he was just coming back from the bar.
Do you guys think Doc Rivers makes in-game adjustments, yes or no?
I think he might try.
I think he tries to. But
should have told Ben Simmons
evidence that I have from Josh Smith says he doesn't.
All right. Let's hop into topic 1 here. I think the nerves are starting to get closer as we get closer to 8:30 during the show. So if you see me talking faster, it's also like I don't want to stay up forever, and also I'm getting nervous. So we'll see how the speed goes.
Hold on a second.
What's up, Alex?
What channel is it on?
I don't know, ESPN.
Well,
We're not there. We're not there yet.
We're only 14 minutes out.
Yeah, no, we'll have it on the background. We'll just talk through this stuff.
God damn, I'm nervous.
All right, but exciting. College football playoff expansion to 12 teams. This dropped about a week or so ago. We just didn't hit it last episode because there was other stuff going on. It's still proposed. It's not real yet, but it's probably going to be happening based on everything we know about college football. They want more money. I wrote 1,000 questions for this just to get everyone thinking any way they want to take it. I'll just throw it to Evan. We're not going to explain the absolute details right now. You can go look it up, read the articles. We'll touch on some of the details, I'm sure, in our points. But Evan, what were you thinking about this playoff situation? Like, what gets you going about this playoff?
What gets me going is more meaningful games. The higher teams play each other more often. You're going to see matchups that you've probably never seen before if there's a 12 playoff team. And it gives the teams like we've said before, UCF, Cincinnati, a chance to compete at a higher level. And you see them competing in bowl games, so why shouldn't they be playing in the playoff games as well? Some negative thoughts. You got to nitpick. That you always have to nitpick. And one of in the articles that you gave to us, they said they want a more diverse or more better chances for teams to be represented. But I think it's also a way for like the Power 5 schools, so like the SEC, Big 12, all those teams to get more teams into the playoff to generate more money for their conferences, and then they split it evenly amongst all teams. So they're underlining, let's say what it is, it's a money grab. Second, if you do this, there's a chance that we play less games in the regular season. So that means non-conference games, you're missing out on that. It's okay for non-conference games, but I'm thinking of these smaller schools that go and play Alabama and Clemson. They're getting a check for over $500,000, and that strictly pays for like their athletic department and a football program. Those teams are going to miss out on that. And so that probably goes into my next point. Now, this is just good for college football. It gets the conversation going in a lot of different categories. I said expansions, so the playoff expansion, TV money, and then obviously conference realignment. Some teams might be asking the bigger conferences to join them to boost their athletic department and boost their chances of getting into the playoff because it's all
Notre Dame, BYU.
Notre Dame should join the conference by now because what makes them better than everybody else? Because you read the article, it says, the six highest conference championships and Notre Dame. It's like, come on, join the conference already.
They put that in there.
They're not going to. Notre Dame's not going to join.
This is nitty-gritty part 1. So if Notre Dame, do they get counted in the top 6 so they could get a top 4 seed potentially or no?
Yes.
They've always included Notre Dame.
That's so dumb. I don't even want them in the Big Ten. There was a time when I did. Those losers, get out of here. You're soft. Beat you 45-14 last time.
You love Notre Dame.
No.
You do.
I like their helmets.
I've heard you say it multiple times.
I said I respect their uniforms.
wanted to go to school there.
No, I did not.
Grant. You visited there.
I went to a baseball camp there to get better at my craft. I did not
You
want
told
to
me
go
maybe
to
a week
Notre
ago
Dame.
that you really like Notre Dame and that you thought about going there, and that's your number one.
No.
Number one school to do like Dynasty and Road to Glory with.
Yeah, and when I play video games,
you
I
love
would go
Notre
there.
Dame. You love them.
I do not. Wrong. Fake.
Back to the topic.
I'll hop in here because I see it differently than Evan in the sense that I think I've always wanted playoff expansion, but I think 12 is way too many, and I don't like that, and I will be anti it, and I'll plant my flag in the ground that it's going to water down the game. I would be cool with adding 6. 8 seems ideal to me because that locks in all the conference champions. You can do that whole thing. 12 is too many. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't do the deep dive research. I will later when we talk about this inevitably again when it comes back up. Like past years of who's the 12 seeds, like I don't need to see them play another game in it. And then I also have a nit because like I kind of like the exclusivity of the playoff. And either way, it's not going to solve the debate like, oh, 5 and 6 got jobbed. People are still going to say, oh, 13 and 14 should, like those teams are still going to have a gripe no matter what. You're always going to have people on the outside looking in that are mad. It won't matter as much because like if you're 13th or 14th, what case do you really have? Like you probably have 3 losses at that point. Like maybe you win one of those games. So there's that. And also what I love about college football is how sweaty each and every week is. Like you're like, oh God, if we lose, like our season is screwed. Like even in your season opener, you're like, oh, we're so in trouble. You can lose one game in a big conference and be okay. But now like in the big conferences like SEC, they probably can lose like 3 games to still get in this thing. It's like, okay. And I don't know how many upsets there are really going to be. Like football's like the least amount of variance sport. I would say like if you're a dominant program, you're still going to be good. And also I think Alabama, OSU, Clemson, Oklahoma are still going to have like a tight grip on the sport. Like this doesn't mean more teams are really going to contend. You'll be in the playoff. It's watered down now. But the other thing I wanted to say was the thing that I think they need to change from their proposed plan is that they're saying that the top 4 seeds, you get the bye, which is nice, but then it's a neutral site. I think the coolest part of this whole idea is that there's games that are going to be on campuses for a playoff game. Like, can you guys close your eyes and picture a college football playoff game atmosphere in Spartan Stadium or in the Big House? Like, it gives you goosebumps. Like, the amount of hype at the tailgate, the pomp and circumstance, the bands, like the amount of fans. It would be an unbelievable atmosphere. And it's kind of dumb that the top 4 seeds don't get that. Like, you should be rewarded for that. So they need to like if Michigan were to make it, I would almost want them to be like 5 through 8. So they're hosting that first game. That would be so fun. So they need to figure out that because home game is going to be the big money draw and the best part. And then I would say you should make the national championship game every year the Rose Bowl. They probably won't do that, but that would just be a personal Grant touch. That the national championship game every year is the Rose Bowl.
You guys made great points.
I'm curious to see where you land because this is a classic. Like, you're the third guy.
I think that 12 is too many.
You do.
6 isn't enough. I think 8 should have been a good start.
Evan wants 18.
No matter what, everyone is going to complain about something.
Yeah,
you're never going to please everyone. I mean, we were at 2. Now we're at 4. Now we're going to 12. We skipped 8, which seems weird because 8 should have been next.
Or 6.
6 I didn't like.
You're technically getting 8 with the 4 teams getting buys.
Ultimately,
True.
8, 12, 26, 50, doesn't matter. Same 4 teams are always going to be probably the 4 teams in the semis and national title.
Right.
Because Alabama's not going to lose to some Cinderella team that might win their first game.
Yeah.
That's just not happening. So it's not. Is it going to change
Michigan, Texas,
the
Nebraska,
strength of the national champions?
Miami.
No, it's not going to be like college basketball. You're not going to have like fluke winners. I don't think that'll ever happen. Maybe once in a while,
with that.
but it's probably not. I do like the home and away or the home games in the first round. So I'm imagining a Big Ten school having a school in the South. It's warm, having to come play in cold Big Ten weather.
Yeah.
They're probably going to struggle.
The SEC teams are going to complain so hard
They're
about
just
that.
going to complain and suck. I was trying to think about it. I don't think I've ever seen SEC teams play in the cold. They don't ever have to. Ever. Could you think of any moment? Missouri?
Not really.
They're not even really
all the
SEC.
non-conference games are early enough in the year where it's not that cold here.
And they don't play in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Like when Oregon came to Michigan State, it was like 80 degrees.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen. So I think that'll be super interesting. And then other than that, yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool. I'm sure it's not going to happen until 2025, so we're just talking about this for no reason.
Good point.
So
we need to
I also
reset our
saw today
expectations.
that the head of the playoff committee changes like every week. It seems like there's always a new guy talking on ESPN. But the current guy, so sorry I don't know his name,
Weird observation.
said today that like nothing's for sure and don't get your hopes up, blah blah blah.
Is that how he sounds?
So we'll see. I mean, it'll happen. It'll expand, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon, and I don't think it'll change the landscape of college football at all, other than give more money to the NCAA and the program.
That was a ridiculous thing to say. It's not going to change the landscape
in terms of the top tier teams in college football. No.
College football will never be the same.
I can't wait to hear Michigan fans when they make it as a 12 seed get spanked, and then they're like, "Yeah, we made it to the college football playoff. We're just as good."
A ridiculous, uncalled for shot.
Well, that leads me into the next question for you guys.
Okay,
how is it going to impact our teams in the state?
Well, Michigan's going to make it not this year. The first year it happens for sure. JJ will probably be a senior. He could have gone pro when he was a junior, but he loves the school so much and the Michigan man brand that he comes back. And we will probably be a top 4 seed, so I won't get to see a playoff game at the big house. So that's going to stink. But that will probably happen for Michigan. And then Michigan State fans will be like, oh, well, you made it when can we make a rule that if one of our teams is a top 4 seed, you cannot make the joke like, oh, you made it when it expanded because you would have made it anyways?
Yes.
Is that fair?
That's a fair rule.
Probably will never happen.
Won't happen.
But I think that should be if we're a 7 seed, sure, but oh well, you wouldn't have made it when we did. I already know what you guys are going to say. I'll do the M&M against you. It's probably a great feeling as a Michigan State fan to know that once this changes, you can always say like we were one of like the 6 to 8 teams that made the OG 14 playoff. That's probably cool.
Feels really good. We didn't make the cupcake 12 teamer. We made the
Mickey Mouse Club 12 team playoff.
Yeah, no, we did it for real.
And then OSU fans can be like, well, we were there during the BCS days, so get at us. So they'll always have the one up on us.
Well, now Michigan fans can say that they would have made it a couple times. They probably would have been in the top 12.
Absolutely. Harbaugh would have like 2 to 3 playoff appearances. He'd get a raise. Poor guy. This affected him.
Ivan, thoughts?
It helps all the Power 5 schools. Whether you look at it, you expand the playoff, you have a better chance to sell recruits. Like, we have a chance to make it to the playoff now with more spots available. We don't have to win our conference, and if we do win our conference, sometimes we get left out. Penn State did. I think recruiting is going to intensify. I think you see Michigan State expanding the football facilities. I think money towards athletics is going to intensify for these Power 5 schools. And, like, if you're not building up your football program, you're missing out.
Do you think, because I agree with the Power 5 stuff, do you think it's going to help Power 5 schools more than the mid-tier schools when, in like the first glance, it's like, oh, it'll help the BYUs, the Coastal Carolinas, the Boise States because they'll get their shot. But is it actually going to reverse and help Power 5 schools more because there'll just be like 4 SEC teams in it every year?
I think you have a good point with it. There's going to be more SEC schools in it. Let's just get that out of the way.
4 at least.
It's only going to help the non-Power 5 schools if you see a couple of them make it every single year.
Mm-hmm.
If one year nobody outside the Power 5 makes it, then you're going to lose traction on those smaller schools eventually making it even farther.
Yeah.
Like, those teams need representation in the playoff to have a talking point.
Because now, like, Cincinnati and UCF can actually sell to recruits like we could make the playoffs when you really couldn't with a straight face do that. The inner, like, cynic in me who wants it to be more elite company would just love to watch, like, a Cincinnati get waxed as a 12 seed against Alabama and be like, you know what? Maybe let's bump it back down to 8 teams and just keep those teams out. Like, I think we're going to see it once or twice. Well, I guess they wouldn't play Alabama, so I'm an idiot. So, chop me, Cincinnati fans. They'd play the 5 seed. So, they play 5 seed Notre Dame. And they would just get absolutely ran out of the gym, the football field, and we'd be fine. So, I don't know.
I think it hurts him.
I don't like it.
I think it hurts.
That's all I want to say. I don't like it. I think it weakens the brand of the week-to-week grind of the college football season that I love and makes me want to puke every week when you're in a tight game with Northwestern or Indiana and it means everything. Now it's not going to mean everything. Now you can lose two to three times in the Big Ten as long as you have a good showing and only lose to the really good teams. You can get in.
Yeah, Michigan fans should be super thrilled. You guys can lose to Ohio
Why
State
can't
every
Michigan
year
State
now.
fans be thrilled as well? Why can't we both?
We have beat them.
Why can't we both? So we did too. We beat Luke Fickell, who's a great football coach now. What, silence? It happened. But we should both be happy. Why does it have to be a Michigan State against each other?
Because we're rivals and we're supposed to.
How about this? We'll do
like each other.
That meme, that photo of Michigan State shaking hands, both excited about playoff expansion. both coming off 2-win seasons, excited about playoff expansion.
I'm
Hey,
not.
speaking of that, why can't we be friends? I saw Tom Izzo and Sadie Washington shaking hands at like a high school basketball game, and they were friendly. Why can't we be friendly?
We are friends. We do a podcast.
Because the viewers don't like that, because it doesn't put views in the seats.
Asses in the seats.
Sure.
The lottery started, and I'm getting
yes.
really
So
nervous.
we've officially transitioned to the lotteries on the TV. Evan, do
Super
you have it pulled up?
I'm about to pull it up right now.
Oh
I'm
my God,
saving
I'm
it
nervous.
for I'm a little slow. If I start lagging out, you know why.
Oh, I am just
Okay.
bucking.
How you guys want to just talk about MLB stuff in the background while we just have it on? This was more of like a selfish for me because I was really passionate about this.
I'm not super passionate about the sticky stuff scandal.
I think Evan's going to have some thoughts on it.
I have some thoughts. Let me go first since you guys are going to give more hard hitting.
Okay, well, let's dive in. So that was college football playoff. Now, main topic or two is MLB sticky stuff scandal. And that's not some cute headline. That's actually what they're calling it. It's officially being enforced now as of Monday. They're actually checking gloves and going to suspend people for it. It was kind of building here in the last week. But there's a lot of different angles about it. Again, research it more for yourself if you're interested in it. But Alex, take it away with what you thought about this whole. I would call it a fiasco.
I think it's really dumb.
What's dumb about it?
I think it's dumb that they are now enforcing it when they've allowed this for my entire life and for the entire baseball, basically.
Yes.
I mean, people have been getting away with it forever. I remember vividly as like a 10-year-old watching Kenny Rogers' hand just covered and stuff, and no one said a word about it. No one did anything. He pitched a great game. I just don't know why now. Like, is it really because there's been a few more no-hitters this year? Is that the big deal?
It feels like they lost
There's
some
more home
control.
runs now still. It feels like everyone's hitting bombs. It's just dumb. I think it's super dumb to try to enforce something when you could have a billion times and you waited this long and now you're going to do it. And also the fact you can't have, I think I saw it, you can't wear like colored gloves, like white gloves. Pitchers can't now.
Gray, Casey Mize, Evan's boy, has to change gloves.
Why?
Dude, I don't know.
Why? I just don't get it. I just think it's dumb. Too late. You should have done it a while ago if you're going to do this. Too late. Can't break tradition. It's dumb. I don't like it. Will it affect the game? I don't know. I don't really know.
We'll see.
I've never
you
pitched
tuned
with
in.
some stuff on my hand before, so I don't know what it does.
Sounds like you're missing out based on what I've read.
It's probably nice. So if I was a pitcher, I'd be pissed.
Evan, your thoughts on the matter?
Manfred has no control or credibility for his job as commissioner for Major League Baseball, and it's just a proven fact when players are going out on Twitter and speaking up for their word. I know it's a social media platform, and a bunch of their fans are going to see it. But if you were an actual well-respected commissioner, you would have had a discussion to the players beforehand. You would have had a discussion with the players currently, and you wouldn't see the backlash of this happening. And he's doing it because he's lost control. He's created this monster by all of the whatever baseball you want to talk about, the more runs. Okay, so pitchers are going to do anything they can to get a grip of the baseball.
Yeah.
And I was watching MLB Network, I don't know, probably last week, and Al Leiter was on there showing examples of baseballs from the 90s, early 2000s, and the present, and how each baseball is different. Now, back in the 90s, the umpire used to himself take pride in fixing up the baseball for every single pitcher.
Okay.
Now the baseballs are basically coming out of the box. He showed a baseball from the 90s, and I kid you not, if you could find the video, it is basically brown. Its baseball is brown. It was a meaningful baseball for him, and then now it's solid white, and you can tell the baseballs have changed.
Jeez.
And so Glass now, who's the pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, is going after Major League Baseball, citing this is his reason for his injury. And people are like, oh, that can't be true. And I think he has some point here. So without any sticky substance, the pitchers don't have a solid grip of the baseball, how they want to spin it. Spin rate's a big point for pitchers and fastballs and breaking pitches.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying how he has to grip the ball more into his palm. Yeah. And so if you're a pitcher, every single time you're gripping a ball, you're changing your mechanics and what muscles are working and whatnot. And so I don't blame him. I think he did. And the game that he didn't use it, or the 2 games he didn't use it, one game he pitched really well. The other games he didn't. He was all right, I believe. I think there's going to be more injuries because of it, because pitchers have to change their mechanics from here on out. And I think there's going to be more pitching changes, so the increase of games is going to increase now. The time increase.
Oh.
And baseball's been fighting this. Why? I say pitchers probably won't have control better, and they probably won't go deeper into games because you don't want to see the lineup turnover for the third time. But if a pitcher's going out there absolutely dealing, then you're fine with him throwing out there. But I feel like if he's struggling or just gets to him twice, you're going to see more pitching changes.
So it's going to hurt the game
I have
that
a
way
big,
too.
important question.
Yeah.
Do kids in high school do this? Like, when does this start?
No.
When do you start using this stuff?
No, I don't think so. I'll hop in with Evan, like
I
probably
don't
college.
think high school kids use this.
When Tyler Glasnow and Trevor Bauer, those are the two guys that I kind of referenced throughout this thing, two well-known pitchers, respected pitchers. When they talked about Trevor Bauer in that video on MLB Network, like showed how you can have a ball just sit like this in your hand with like a mix of sweat and sunscreen, my jaw dropped. I was like, what? It sticks like that? And the thing about in baseball, we wore sunscreen and you sweated all the time. I did not know that you could rub that together in a way that it makes it stick to your hand like that. It's definitely, I don't think, a high school thing at all. Probably college and then into the pros. And I might be biased because I love Glasnow. That was just annoying. When I saw this happen, it actually infuriated me. And I haven't gotten the MLB's defense, so I'm not doing a great job of getting both sides, but I trust these players are not just making this up. The fact that, like Alex said, this has been a rule in the players' union for years. They just never enforce it, so no one takes it seriously. So that's your first problem. You have a rule that you don't enforce. That doesn't make sense. Just get rid of the rule then. And they told, according to all the pitchers, they told the pitchers, we're going to do an investigation on all this stuff throughout the year. Do not change what you're doing. Just continue to do whatever you want to do. And then mid-season, right before the All-Star break, they're saying, nope, that's going away. We're going to start checking on Monday. You have half a week to prepare. And umpires are going to be the ones who decide whether or not to find you guilty or not. And if you're guilty, you're suspended 10 games, which is like 2 starts. It's a circus joke fest for a sport that's already dying in the younger generation. And you just look like even more of a clown show. It's ridiculous. And then you have all these injuries popping up, and now every single one I'm going to think, oh, what happened? Like Glasnow said it, that it was everyone was talking about how you put it in your palm. He said it hurts his forearm muscles way more because you're like tensing it way more. And it makes sense when you think about it. And then like we're not speculating, but like Matthew Boyd gets hurt. DeGrom's been battling injuries. All these good. I'm not going to throw Boyd in that category. He's not DeGrom or Glasnow, but like all these pitchers,
Got some nice stuff.
There's more that are getting hurt, like, and we don't know. And then last night they're talking about how Urias for the Dodgers was erratic in like the first inning, like was throwing balls everywhere. And then so it hurts both sides because the pitcher's going to be upset because now they're going to get hurt and they can't throw like normal. And the batters are like, well, these guys have less control, so I might get more accidental fastballs at my head that no one wants. So it actually hurts both sides. And I think because it's easy to critique, everyone's a critic. It's easy to do that. I think baseball's doing this because they want hitting to go back up because like Alex says, it does feel like there's a bunch of bombs and there's a ton of young players in the MLB that are awesome, that are going to be huge for the years to go on. Whether or not the MLB will market them appropriately, that's a different discussion for a different day. But home runs are a little bit down. Like people are on pace for in the 40s right now, high 40s, when like in other seasons you get in the 50s, and then when steroids they were in the 60s. So they're still a little down. They obviously want offense to go back up. They're tired of all the strikeouts. They're tired of all the no-hitters. My proposal is that they need to lower the mound again. Not again, but they need to lower the mound. Quickest, easiest way to do it. And you're like, first of all, this was fascinating. I didn't know they had raised it or messed with it a lot. In 1968, they raised the mound because they were having problems with too much offense. So they raised the mound to obviously make it easier, a higher angle, strike people out. Instead of all this sticky stuff, BS, why don't we just lower the mound a little bit and then see how that adjustment goes? Offense will probably go up, and then you can kind of meet in the middle there. But, Evan, you raised your hand there. What were you thinking off that?
You're talking about offense, and like it's the whole offense versus defense thing, and you got to get credit due with the science and the way the pitchers are going to train. You're going to get better pitchers than what you had in the past. Well, my biggest thing is, like, why doesn't the baseball just say what the problem is, and the problem is the hitters and the coaching? you're getting coaching hitters that all they care about is launch angle and exit velocity. They don't care about a base hit. They don't care about a double. They don't care about your batting average.
Yeah.
And right there is the reason why you're not scoring runs, because you're not getting guys on base.
But
if you would string together a couple doubles and runs, I get it. The whole, okay, I can score one run on one powerful swing.
Yeah.
But you look at back even 15 years ago, more people were hitting with average and there was less power. Yes, the power is the sexy thing. We all see it. We all like it.
Yeah.
But let's call it what it is, and it's the players. It's the offensive hitters to blame for the reason, and you're getting too much blame on the pitchers. If they start moving the mound back, it's going to get even worse. And I wouldn't be shocked if there's an agreement, and then there's a whole strike, and the strike is solely based off of the pitchers.
We're headed for a strike. That's a great point. That's a future podcast episode because there's a bargaining agreement coming up. But
baseball's dying.
To point in an immature way to push back on that. But chicks dig the long ball. So how are guys supposed to get chicks if they're not hitting dingers?
You'll still hit long balls. You will.
Doubles don't get it done.
People have always hit long balls.
Winning a batting average and then getting paid during your contract year and then having money, because chicks will dig the money. Let's be honest. We all see the golfers with the smoking hot white, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you're like, this guy? No, he's got money.
Chicks dig money over the long ball. So there you go. That's a great counterpoint, actually. My last point, other solution, I'm going to just steal this right from Trevor Bauer and just put it into existence so more people are aware of it. Maybe it'll push more pressure on MLB baseball to make a change. He was talking about, like you said, Evan, the baseballs. So apparently right now they rub the baseballs with dirt, mud before the game at some point. It's not like a perfect system, which is dumb considering it's a multi-million-dollar league. You should have the same system for every game. But apparently they rub the ball with mud that makes it sticky in the moment. But then the mud dries out, which in turn makes it even more slippery on a lot of occasions. So he's saying that you should just make a conveyor belt system in each ballpark where the ball comes through the conveyor belt in a little glass case and you spray it with an agreed upon sticky substance. And that way everyone has the same exact sticky baseball. It's not the dried out mud. And it just seems so easy. I don't know why they haven't done it. So I would love for them to adopt Trevor Bauer's idea of just agree upon one sticky substance you can use outside of rosin, because obviously rosin's not enough, and just use it and go from there.
And it's even getting worse with the rules. You see, pitchers aren't allowed to put sunscreen on if they're pitching at night. And if they do put sunscreen on, they have to have it off before they pitch.
That annoys me even more.
They can only wear sunscreen during day games. It can only be a certain amount. It's getting ugly. And if I was the umpires, I would close my eyes when I'm checking it. Be like, oh, you're good. That way it's not on you, because it puts the umpires in a bad situation where they have to go out there and check.
Yeah.
Where if you tell a player, oh, hey, you're kicked out, then the players could revolt against the umpires association.
Yeah, that's not the umpire's job. And also it can work opposite. If you're mad at a guy for arguing balls and strikes, you can kick him out when he did nothing wrong and say, oh, he had stuff on his glove. It's just such a bad situation. So bad. So embarrassing for one of the top 3 leagues in the country. And something needs to be fixed. Get Theo Epstein involved. Actually, wait, no. He comes to the Tigers. So someone else has to step up and fix it.
Top 3 league. People would argue the NHL.
I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of hockey fans.
Oh, I'm not arguing that.
And I think baseball's a dying sport as much as you guys love it. I'm just being honest.
Do I watch many games? I don't.
Viewership is terrible for.
I like to watch the highlights. They have good highlight packages.
You just Snapchat.
Did I just send a Snapchat?
We saw it. That was awkward.
God.
It was really awkward.
Oh,
there's the peace sign. Who's that to?
Also Snapchats. I really don't care.
All right.
Was that to a bad lady?
It was to a no.
Did you say chicks did the long ball?
Chicks did Cade Cunningham.
So it's lottery time. Logistics wise, are we just gonna do? We should do this with no volume so we can still talk to each other.
No, I need volume. They're gonna announce our name.
No, we'll be able to see the screen what we get.
No, I need it.
It's not
subtitles.
So I guess I want to get these out before we actually get into this. Then, are we going to trade for Ben Simmons? Would you guys be on board for that? He's never been a lower value point than right now.
I'll give him Dwayne Casey.
Who would you trade for Ben Simmons if you want? Because I've seen Pistons Twitter is split on this. They were talking about people were arguing, going at each other. I don't even want him near our team. Some guys I'd probably consider giving him Jeremy Grant for him. So where are you guys at?
Probably give Jeremy Grant. But then again,
really?
I don't know. I don't think I would because
You just said you probably would.
I might.
There he is, Mark Tatum. Knew it.
I might. I'm going to be honest. Talking about Ben Simmons right now, I'm focused on one thing and one thing.
All right.
And it's Cade
You
Cunningham.
guys look and I'll
That's
talk.
all I'm focused
All
about.
right, he's doing it. 14. All right, this is it. Lock in, boys.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Evan, when did
Draft lottery.
Warriors got 14.
tell us when you see the pick come up. Alex, you should pause to try to sync it.
Put your phones away because I know our friends are going to text about it.
All right, we're synced up. We got to be.
San Antonio Spurs.
We're perfect.
Yeah,
We're
really
perfect.
good.
All right.
Well, we don't have to
guys,
get nervous till 6.
Yeah, we can't be any of these.
But if we see a top team that falls into here, that increases our odds.
Miles Bridges, shout out. He's representing them.
Shout out Miles.
He looks happy.
Doesn't really care. Someone made him be there.
Franz Wagner teaming up with Miles Bridges. That's huge. Pelicans. So Houston keeps 1 through 4 if it's 1 through 4. Minnesota keeps pick if it's 1 through 3. It's not going to be. So Golden State's going to pick. Oh my gosh, Golden State's going to have the 4th pick and the 14th pick.
The Kings.
They actually might rig it so that doesn't happen. I don't know.
Kings are always in that,
Yeah, it's
6 to
gross.
10 range.
Oh, I'm actually really nervous now. It just hit me.
I'm actually really bad.
Magic?
Oh.
They have 2 picks?
From Chicago Bulls. Yes.
Yeah, but wasn't that a fall?
No, they have.
I don't know. I don't know,
Evan.
We are not.
I can't focus.
We're not
on
NBA
right
sweats.
Because if we come out in 6, I'm gonna actually lose my mind. Oh,
Wait.
I'm super confused.
How do they have
No,
2?
Minnesota gets the
Toronto's
that pick
guaranteed
goes
in the top
3.
4. Toronto's guaranteed in the top 4. Oh my God!
How are we not yet?
This could be us.
Toronto had low odds.
This
We're
could be
so
us.
screwed.
Oh my God!
Are we still online? Evan?
Thunder
We
had top
survived?
3 odds.
No!
Cleveland. Oh no!
I'm gonna puke.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna
So we're
puke.
either 1, 2, or 5, right? Is that
No,
what that
no.
means?
That's just top 4 picks. It could be anything.
Oh my God! Don't
Just don't be us.
Don't be us.
Don't be us.
Don't be us.
Yes!
Oh, come on!
This
We're
is so-
top 4, baby.
Oh my God! I'm nervous.
Dude, being shitty for a season is so fun.
Oh my God! I'm shaking. I'm actually really nervous.
Well, does Orlando get pick 5?
I don't know how the Fred VanVleet does not look happy, but he should be.
I don't know
Top
what's
4.
happening.
Why do the Warriors and Magic both have 2 picks in this lotto?
All I know is we're top 4, so we're getting some of these.
Oh.
But I need
So wait, who's left? Ben and then Houston, right? So Houston. So yes.
Houston, us, Cleveland, and Toronto.
Wait, Orlando was supposed to get the first. Ben's
Yeah,
excited.
they fell
Why is
to
he shaking
6.
his head? I thought Ben was going to be in person. Now we lost all our intimidation factor. Hey, he threw up the
I think
peace sign
someone
too.
just told Ben that we didn't get the number 1 pick. I was
No, he just
purely
told-
speculating.
Hey, the Tigers are up 6-0 on the Cardinals. Shout out
Shut
Detroit
up.
Sports.
Oh my God!
Oh, coming up.
Commercial?
Okay, so
Oh my God! Let's talk.
last
We're
week,
getting one of those 4 players.
so last week I was like, hey, Killian Hayes' ceiling could be like a Ben
Are
Simmons.
you going
and
back to
now-
Ben Simmons?
Yeah, 'cause
After this,
I think I want Ben Simmons on our team.
What do you mean? We're about to have a top 4 pick. We're about to have someone else good. We don't need him.
No, I think we need him.
But what about Killian?
That's the tough part. I think I would
That's
trade.
why I
would
think
you?
I don't need.
I
Ben
think I would trade Killian for Ben Simmons.
Would they do that as like a poor man's Ben Simmons?
That's
right
the thing is like how far has Ben Simmons fallen?
Ben Simmons is 24. He's our age.
and Killian is 19. Whoa! I'm 23. Don't
You
want me
turn
to
24 in like a month.
Killian's 19. Ben Simmons is 24. I guess in 5 years, Killian could be better than that based on what I've seen in the
He's not
playoffs.
taller.
But better.
He's not bigger and more
He
athletic.
can shoot better already, right? I'm saying with my Ben Simmons thing, the only way I would accept
Don't
him
look at your phone, Evan.
on our team is if he was forced to live with John Beeline for 2 summers in player development camp. He has to live with John Beeline for 2 summers. If he's willing to do that, I will take him for Killian Hayes and Mason Plumlee.
I'm gonna puke.
We're going to get 4.
I'm gonna puke.
What if we get 1?
I'll puke.
Let's talk about it.
I'll
What
puke
if
in
we get
excitement.
1?
I might take my shirt off.
I'm nervous about all this equipment. If we get 1,
I was trying
I have-
to plan out my moves.
I have nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be happy.
So-
So what does everyone think before we come out of this commercial?
Well, so
I think 2.
So I'm gonna go back to Tankathon because Toronto had like a 9% chance to get a top pick. Or Orlando got screwed already. They were supposed to be the 3rd pick, 3rd highest odds. They were
And so
tied with us.
OKC's out too. They didn't get top 4 either.
Don't they have 2 picks? No, they have Houston's pick. So they don't have it anymore. So yeah, OKC's out. Cleveland's up there, and Toronto came from 7.
So it's Cleveland, Toronto, Detroit, and Houston.
But
So
isn't
Houston,
it still Minnesota? Isn't Minnesota still in this mix?
There's only 4 teams.
Oh,
Houston,
yes?
Detroit, Cleveland, and Toronto. That's it.
So
I think Houston's getting 1. We're getting 2. Scott. That's what my gut
no,
says.
because Houston's already had a superstar. They had a chance.
My gut says they want Houston to be good.
So do the percentages still matter? Because it says Toronto has a 7.5% chance to get the number 1 overall.
Yes, that still matters.
Or no, now is it a 25% chance?
No. It's still that.
Who's left? Cleveland has an 11%. So Cleveland
We still have
will
14.
not get the first pick. There's no
They
way
have
that
a
can
million
happen.
times. It can't happen again.
If you know what, if Cleveland gets the first pick, I think
it's rigged.
it's not rigged because that is like
True.
pure randomness.
Why would they want?
Why would they do it
franchise
again?
to be good? And they blow it every time.
Didn't
They try to
draft-
find Anthony Bennett Jr.
Didn't they draft LeBron once at first?
It worked once.
They blow it every time.
They
drafted-
didn't win. They didn't win during his draft tenure. They didn't win till he came back.
Clearly.
So they did blow it with LeBron because he left them.
And you love him for it. How about that guy at the gym today? That's unbelievable.
Are you just trying to deflect from
Yes.
clear nervousness?
That's why I want to talk about Ben Simmons.
I'm
I actually
super
think he'd be a
nervous.
good fit.
He might be.
But
If we have Kate, I don't want
If I
him.
post this clip of like Ben Simmons like come to Detroit, people will absolutely come with pitchforks at me. So I don't know if I will. I'm telling you, that's how decisive.
That's
it
a
is.
soft move not to post it.
But also like
Evan, don't look at your phone.
he's just.
Are you out of the commercial?
No.
No.
We're not either.
We gotta communicate here when we come back, boys, so we know we're at the right spot.
Just make sure no one has notifications on. That'd be a really big buzzkill.
My phone is underneath the couch. All right, they're doing the graphic.
We're
they're
back.
coming back. And now I'll tell you when I see a human being. It's still just sitting. All right, I see Devin Booker shooting. Is Devin Booker shooting?
Yes, I'm like right on.
Okay, so we're there. So yeah, okay, we'll be good. He looks like he's gonna go for 35. We could have had him, as Evan said. Damn. He'd be so awesome as a Piston.
Cade Cunningham would be awesome. Get DeAndre Ayton off. No
No.
one cares about
I'm
playoff
excited for
teams.
this game.
Everyone cares about the teams that they're trying to get better.
Oh gosh. What if she we have no volume? What if she just asked him like, DeAndre, who do you think is gonna get the first pick? He's
They're
like,
asking
oh,
about it right now.
no.
They're asking about him on draft night.
Oh, okay. He was a number 1 pick.
Yes.
I forget that. Remember they got bounced by Buffalo and he got paid to go to school there? Shout out Sean Miller for keeping his job. Wait, no, did he get fired?
Yeah, he got fired.
But he survived it for a couple years.
See, there it is.
Oh. So that's an order of most likely to, probably?
Yes.
You know, we need to go back to a new logo. I don't like our logo.
That's another
Our logo
discussion.
stinks.
Our NBA,
Does.
not Shot on Michigan Sports, our logo is Fire Flames. The Pistons.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, gosh, I'm nervous. Did you see in that tweet you sent us, Alex?
So which one is he saying? 4 or 1?
It's going to go from 4.
4.
It's us. I can
I
tell.
think.
Oh my God! Top 3.
Was that the first pick?
No, that's
No,
not the
no,
first pick.
no.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
It's the Raptors was the 4th, folks. Cleveland.
Oh!
Dude, top 2. Top 2.
Come on.
Top 2.
Come
Wait,
on!
so now it's going to be first. Now this is first pick. This is first pick.
Number 1 pick.
This is second pick. They said second pick. We got the first
Yes!
pick. We got the first pick.
No way. No way.
Yes!
We got the first pick in the draft. Cade Cunningham.
We did it! We did it! We willed it!
Dude,
We spoke.
We did it!
into
look at Ben.
existence.
Look at Ben. Yes.
Oh my
Oh
God!
my god!
We're gonna be good. We're going to the postseason.
Look how happy Rachel is. Look how happy Ben is.
Oh my God! We did
Oh my
it.
God.
We actually did
Oh
it.
my God.
We actually did it.
Yes.
My God! Ben Wallace needs to be our GM.
Oh my God.
It really happened. I can't actually believe it.
Oh my God. Evan, great call. I thought that was the first pick.
I
Oh,
turned the volume on.
that's so
I
huge.
turned the. Yeah, they usually do it the opposite way. They usually go first, then second. But I turned the volume on just to listen to it, and they said with the second pick.
Oh my God! We actually won.
Ooh.
The NBA wants us to be good again. It's not rigged. It was all never rigged.
So now we don't need Ben Simmons?
No. No, we have Cade Cunningham. It's a guarantee. We can buy his jersey. Watch
There
us,
it is, boys.
Watch us draft Evan Mobley. Oh God. No, Troy wouldn't do that.
It feels so good that our
Feels
podcast
like-
just spoke this into existence.
Dude, we really did.
Single-handedly spoke this into existence, and we're the reason the Pistons have the first pick.
Right before our podcast, I said I was going to do one tankathon,
Yeah.
and whatever it was would happen. And I hadn't gotten Detroit first at all. Detroit was first.
He did say that.
happened. It happened.
But also behind the scenes, like between us, I was like, dude, I think we're going to get 6. I've been doing a lot of simulations.
I wasn't confident. But Dan Campbell willed that to happen. And now we have a super.
My heart's racing.
Oh my God.
Hey, I hate to be that guy. Let's just enjoy the moment. But like, what if we draft like Jalen Green first? Are we going to be on board?
Nope. I will. I'll burn the shirt. I'll be pretty upset. I mean, look at my background. I was ready for this moment. All of our tweets about Cade Cunningham are real. It's really happening. We're really going to
shout out Dan Campbell.
Wow.
It all goes through Dan Campbell.
I can't wait to look at Twitter all night long and watch Cade Cunningham highlights until 4 a.m.
Dude, spin the mixtapes. Spin the highlight tapes. I might have to make a hype video. But I guess, again, though, guys.
He's never played in the NBA.
No. We don't even know for sure if we're drafting him.
No, we are. It's a no-brainer.
Like, what if Troy Weaver's like, no, I see something different?
What if we trade the number 1 pick for Zion?
Or Luka. Dude, we have so much trade bait. What if we just go get a superstar?
What a position this is. Have we ever had the number 1 pick? Ever? In any sport?
Yes.
Well, we've had it for the Lions.
We got the guy out of St. Bonaventure.
We drafted a guy out of St. Bonaventure with the number 1 pick. You're lying.
No, I'm dead serious.
Bob Lanier?
I don't know.
No, I don't think we've never had the number 1 pick. Never.
I don't know.
It can't go as bad as Darko.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
We got the first pick in the draft.
Do you think Cade's excited or no?
Don't
care.
Woj said on ESPN, I listened to it while you guys were talking. He said that Cade Cunningham's representatives are only going to meet with one team, and that one team is whoever has the first pick.
What a flex.
It's already there.
Oh,
Cade
yeah.
Cunningham Pistons.
We took
Jimmy Walker.
in 1967 from Providence. And we took Bob Lanier in 1970 from St. Bonnie.
He was a Hall of Famer.
What pick was Isaiah? We were terrible before we had Isaiah.
He was like 3.
Greg Kelster shot out.
Isaiah was 1.
Isaiah was 2. What a steal.
Oh, round 1, pick 2.
We spoke it into existence.
John Sally shot out was the 11th pick in the draft.
It really happened.
We really did.
Now we have to talk about, is Cade going to be the real deal?
That's for future shows. And also, like, when we have an idea if we even draft him. Because we don't know.
We're drafting him. We will speak that into existence if we have to. My background will forever be Cade Cunningham.
Quickly, like, before we move on and close this show out, like, how devastating, like, will you guys be out on Troy Weaver if we don't draft Cade Cunningham?
I'd be pretty upset.
Like, if we trade it for an all-star, superstar, that's one thing. But if we just draft, like, Evan Mobley or Jalen Suggs, like,
I'd be blown away.
Al will be out. Al Lakes will be out.
They say Cade Cunningham is like the can't-miss prospect of this draft, and over like the prospect of the last like couple years, there's no way Troy Weaver messes this up.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so curious to see what the audio was like because I definitely knocked Evan's voice in this room around a lot on this iPhone. It was going everywhere.
Super dumb, so I don't really care.
Whoa, are you doing? Yes. Was that your classic? Yes.
Yeah. A natural reaction is the best, so whatever the quality is, you just book a chip and send it.
Well,
I was just flailing my arms like a chick.
Dude, I'm going to have to cut that up tonight. We need to get that to the people. All right. With that being said, I don't even really want to plug our... Nothing seems that important anymore. I don't even want to plug...
spin that thing.
But no, you at Shot of MS on everything but TikTok because the better days of Detroit sports are coming. And this podcast, you know, we're early, but we've been grinding through bad times. And we're just going to go to the moon. When we're going to ride the coattails of our good sports teams now. So at Shot of MS, everything but TikTok. That's at Shot of Michigan Sports on TikTok. Those are great places to see video clips like you'll see of the draft reaction and comment and like. I know people were commenting today pretty negative in our Instagram comments saying we're going to get – one kid said we're going to get the 7th pick. But I think he might have been trolling. I don't think he knew we couldn't get that worse. But everyone's like, oh, negative Nancy. No, this is positive vibes only podcast except when we're being negative. So follow the socials for good clips, DMs, all that stuff. Email shotofmichigansports@gmail.com. Any business inquiries, any ads you want to get in on now because now we have the first pick. Like, we're going to be good, so you might want more ads on this show because we're going to be getting more eyeballs on the show. And then I don't think I missed it. Oh, so on Apple now, it's no longer subscribing. It's called following, which is interesting. I think they changed it because subscribing, like I said, gives off the paying notification. So now on Apple Podcasts, please just follow this podcast to get things automatically downloaded. And please leave a review. At some point, we'll do some incentive for reviews, like maybe like a giveaway, like a t-shirt giveaway, or like we'll let you roast us with a review and we'll read it on the show, making fun of us if you give us 5 stars. But so if you do that now, we will. So like, just please review, give us a rating. It's free. It takes no time. Please follow us. Free. It takes no time. YouTube, subscribe. Interact with us there. Takes no time. Free. And then Spotify, follow us on there. Automatic downloads, baby. Because the Pistons are back. And this podcast is even more back. It never left, really. But I think there's only one logical cheers here. I have just enough alcohol left in my glass. Cheers to the end of episode 26 and to the start of the Cade Cunningham era in Detroit.
Cheers to Cade.
Cheers to winning the draft lottery. Feels good.
The Pistons are so back.